Heyo, it's me, Harper Savage, and today, well, it's kind of unfortunate, but Joann's is closing. That's right, the craft store, the art store. It sucks. But I figured since it's closing, a lot of people might be buying some more stuff from them, maybe like to future-proof themselves by bulking up on their supplies. So I went ahead and grabbed a couple of sketchbooks by the Art Smith brand, which I think is Joann's store brand. I'm not 100% certain on that because the address on the back of this thingy doesn't say anything about Joann. But I figured that I needed to get a new sketchbook anyways because look at how far we are. We're this far away on this side from finishing this sketchbook that I got from the dollar store in 2023, maybe more like 2022. I got this in the dollar plus section, so it was like a $5 sketchbook, and I'm someone who likes to sketch in cheaper sketchbooks and not do finished products in my sketchbooks that are cheaper, obviously. So these are like, I don't know, $4, $5. So I figured, you know, it's the time for me to get another sketchbook. Why not stock up while I'm doing that at Joann's since they're closing? So we're just going to be doing some tests in here, maybe a little bit of artwork. We'll see how it goes. So this is just the front flap here. Now, I have been doing this thing where I glue in the stats and stuff, but it might not matter because I'm not going to have access to these after Joann closes. But it is a 75-pound paper, 110 sheets, so it's definitely like a dry medium type of book and not a wet medium type of book. So if you are planning on doing anything finished in here, it'd probably just be like color pencils or graphite pencils that have all the different densities and maybe some chalk pastels. But we're gonna officially test out the first page in this video. This is an end sheet here. It's not actual sketchbook paper, but this one is. I'll tell you right now, it definitely is meant for just dry mediums, but that's not gonna stop us. Now, if you don't know what I mean by test page, I'll show you. This is what it means. I test out some art supplies that I frequently use and maybe others frequently use too, to see how it works on the paper. So that's what we're gonna get started with. I'm gonna gather the supplies. We've got crayons, we've got ink, we've got watercolors, we've got gouache, and we have all of these ink pens that we can try. Hopefully I covered everything. Now you saw some orange mixed in with the pens, and that's because I didn't have it in black. So I usually try to test everything in one color, and sometimes it just doesn't work out like that. I got the thingy, you know the thing. Place that in there. Let's go ahead and start with the Sharpie, because I always like to start with Sharpie. On the test page. Use my handwriting, it's going to be horrible throughout this. Speaking of Sharpie, I didn't grab any of the paint markers. Sharpie P for permanent. Got Sharpie C for creative marker. Why not just do all the Sharpie up front? Okay, we got a Sharpie liner. Ultra fine. I'll do the Posca next. I'm not sure if that pilling on the marker was already there, or if it came off of the paper just now. Go ahead and test the Arteza, oh god, what are these called? Inkonics? Ink. You would think I don't know how to spell or something. I don't know. I'll do Papermate, Flare. Let me do a little, because you can kind of fill in the area with these. Tombow Spudonosuke. Ibe Uden. Oh god, where's the spelling on here? Nosuke. My handwriting's getting worse as we go on, isn't it? Got a Sakura Micron. Oh, spelled it wrong. Sakura. These are just Five Below liners. I think it's like something Holdings. I don't remember what the brand is officially called. You'd think I'd know by now. Then we have Lay Pen. The neon. Can you believe I don't have a black lay pen? Crazy. And we have a ballpoint. It's Bic. My personal favorite pen to write with. Papermate Inkjoy. So those are all the pens we got. I guess we'll use this weird shape here to do other mediums like the crayons. Forgot about those. Do we want to do it orange or black? I guess we'll do it in black. We'll keep it in this color range as best as we can. Ew. Crayola. I can already tell that this is not paper for crayons. Harper, I've never seen you do anything with crayons. You would be right. I think I've done like maybe 1 or 2 videos with crayons and then I was like, I'm done. Well, I went and got water. I remembered other things I should be testing out. And that would be watercolor ink, an alcohol marker, and a color pencil. I didn't grab the color pencil yet. Where's the black? All right, I grabbed my Prismacolor black. I do have Neocolor 2s as well. Should I grab one of those? Jesus, am I just grabbing one of everything I own? Bam. Anyway, I should also test how erasable the Cool Erase are. Now, suddenly I have 50 billion other things to add to this. Oh, uh-oh. It's right there in front of me. It's upside down. I can't read it. Oh, hoo-hoo. There we go. This is technically a wet medium. Let's do the color pencil next. We're gonna do half burnished? What is that what it's called? I mean, scribble down real hard. Burnishing. Half not burnish. If you couldn't tell from my reaction, I actually really liked how that felt. Prismacolor. Ooh, I put an E at the end of color. That's how it's gonna look. And on the Cool Erase. Ooh, something similar. Well, we're gonna have half of it dark, half of it not. I really should have grabbed the orange or the red for this because I have noticed red is hard to erase in general, not just that brand. Where's my pencil? Here it is. Oh, I should have just put them next to each other. Too late now. And so I forgot to write what this was. Now we know it's a Prismacolor. I'll just put Cool Erase. Is that how you spell erase? There's a lot of things on my desk right now. It's kind of freaking me out. Okay, we're gonna do the things that need water next. Starting with my Neocolor 2s. This is how I expect a crayon to color. I don't know. I feel like Crayola's formula must have changed since I've gotten old. Me, not Crayola. I've gotten old. Now, because I don't think it's a big deal, I'm not gonna lay out my mat, mostly because it was washed and now it's drying. But I did grab the same brushes I was just using in Inktober's video. Check that out if you haven't seen it yet. This is watercolor ink. A little dab. Make a little love. Get down tonight. Oh yeah, get down tonight. I put too much on there. I see it. You don't have to tell me. I didn't write down what the Neocolor was. My goodness. Like I don't know what I'm doing anymore. All right, let's spread this up. We'll boot out a bit. Okay, so I already see what's happening there, which is what I expected. I'm gonna do the Neocolor now because the ink could tint anything like the India ink. That's why I want to do the watercolor stuff first. Ooh, that's not terrible. We're running out of room. How are we gonna do the gouache and the watercolor? Well, they're just 2 spots, right? Not a big deal. Oh my god. Can I just onto the brush? I don't want to get too much on here and waste it all. Okay, now watercolor. I'll use a different brush. Use our Artistro, in case you're wondering. I think this is the black. I don't know. I'm just guessing. We'll have to check out if it reactivates or not. Maybe the gouache isn't being tested. Tell me our Arteza gouache. Do you even look good anymore? Did you get stale? Got a little stale. It's okay. We have the power of water. If you're curious, I don't have any mold or anything on mine. But I live in a really dry house. It's gonna moisten. Oh, it's spread everywhere. Oh my god. And I was like, I don't need my mat today. I'm just gonna get gouache on everything. Look, look, look. Look, got a little bit on my mat here, but I'm hoping it'll come off with some water. I'm gonna cry if it doesn't. I will cry, like really hard. And a gouache. I'm gonna wait for this to dry. All dry now. Before we flip the page over, I'm gonna go ahead and try the reactivation test for some of the watercolors here, which is Neocolor. Yeah, that reactivated. And I know that's the gouache. We could probably reactivate that. I'm guessing this was the other one that we're supposed to reactivate here. Okay, that's not really reactivating. I'm pretty sure Actually, was that the ink? That was the ink. This is watercolor. This is why you gotta label stuff, guys. Alright, the watercolor is not really reactivating either. And last test, the gouache. Okay, that is kind of reactivating, but not in a great way. So I'm thinking this must be the watercolor ink. That's the watercolor, that's the gouache, that's the ink. So once they're dry, you can't reactivate them, is what I'm gathering here. All right, while our little water spot's dry, let's go ahead and do the eraser test on the Cool Erase and pencil. I'm gonna give it like a fair test by using this guy. But we gotta make sure it's clean first. Okay, so let me blow all these dust particles off. I would say the eraser test did about what I expected it to. The pencil erased just fine. The Cool Erase, not so great, as usual. But let's go ahead and turn the paper over to see who bleeds and who doesn't. So the Sharpie, obviously. The Ohuhu, also obviously. Now, the watercolor ink and the Neocolors bled. But it could be due to the amount of water I added to it. And a little bit here on the regular ink bled through. Now that I did not add water to. So that's basically what I expected. I did kind of expect the gouache to bleed through a little for some reason, but it didn't. All right, so let's kind of just go over what was good and what wasn't here. The Sharpie stuff all worked as expected, along with the Posca. The liners are all fine. The crayon was awful. I never want to do that again. That was like a horrible, like dry, scratchy experience. I swore crayons were more like, especially Crayola was like more smooth than it was, but maybe I'm just misremembering my whole childhood. The hoo-hoos were fine. I don't actually see much feathering here, but I also didn't lay down a whole lot of ink. The Prismacolor, now that was surprising. I really like how that worked. I might be doing some color pencil art in these. And the wet mediums all worked how I expected them to on this type of paper, except for the gouache. To be honest, I never test gouache because I only ever use that on watercolor paper or mixed media paper. So that was a first for me, so I wouldn't know either way. Let's look at the back one more time for you guys. And there was just a little bit from the Ohuhu marker right there. It's like very hard to see. It's like a little speck that got onto this. Now I was planning on doing some artwork in this sketchbook, but I have this thing where if I'm not finished a sketchbook, I don't deserve to do anything in a new one yet. So we'll revisit this once I'm ready to move sketchbooks, which I'm hoping will be within the year. And for reference, that is only this much to go, and I don't know, I'm just super excited to be done with the sketchbook, especially because it lags the camera a lot. It's crazy. The cover being so reflective just makes the camera go all kinds of crazy. So I'm kind of eager to finish up the sketchbook now. I'm gonna close the book even though the paper's still wet. Let me know your thoughts on these sketchbooks and this brand. Have you tried it before? Have you not? Are you also sad about Joann's? Because I'm, like, devastated. And yes, all the sketchbooks were dirty. It's something I could probably just wipe off. But that's going to be it for me today. If you want to check out another sketchbook testing video, you can go ahead and tap the thumbnail here. If you want to catch up on anything you missed, you can go ahead and tap the thumbnail here. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to do all the cool YouTube-y things of comment, liking, subscribing, and turning on that notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!